Hi and welcome back. If you are new here, I am Luiza, and on this channel we are talking everything about the life here in Algarve, Portugal. In today's video, we are talking about our expenses here in Portugal for the month of January. It's the end of the month and I thought it would be useful for you, but also for us to see how much money exactly did we spend living here in Algarve. For the month of January, there are some particularities, meaning that we didn't stay here the full month. We arrived here on the 10th of the month, and practically we are starting spending money on the 10th of January and until the 31st of January. Also, another particularity will be the fact that some of the expense, especially the house related one, are for the month of December, because you are paying in January the consumptions for December. But nevertheless, I thought it's going to be an interesting exercise for us and an interesting video for you to show you what we actually spent living here. I have here my tea. I have a new habit. I drink tea here almost every day. I didn't like to drink tea. I never drank tea at home, but here I drank it because it helps me keep warm. And it's not English tea, it's like a herbal infusion. So let's dive right into the expense. We are going to start with the expenses for the house. So here we are paying for the house 3 large invoices. We have Laser, which is our internet, and we pay 60 euros for the internet and the TV. We are fairly content with Laser because it's the best internet in the area, but it's not really what we have at home. For the same quality of internet that we have at home, we should pay double, 120 euros, and I think it's rather expensive. So we make do with this subscription, and sometimes it works okay, sometimes not, but we manage. For EDP, we paid 43.29 euros, but this reflects the consumption from December. So we pay 43.29, and this is just the subscription, the fees, the taxes for electricity. It's not the consumption. The consumption, it would be reflected in the month of February. I'm going to make a video each month with our expenses, and there you are going to see how much did we spend on electricity in the month of January. But this 43.29 reflects the fact that nobody stayed in the apartment, and this is only taxes for electricity. And the third invoice is at Infralobo. Infralobo is the company that takes care of the resort, takes care of the garbage, and provides water for us. And this is 44.80 euros. And this is also reflecting the fact that in the month of December no consumption of water was made. So this is only the main cost that you are going to pay when you are not staying here, only the subscription, so to say. And now let's get into the actual expenses of this month. As you well know from one of my previous videos, we bought this couch. This was by far our main expense for this month. This couch was 860 euros, and it was an investment, but nevertheless we paid it cash, so it was rather expensive to make such a big investment in 1 month. We paid for electronics, so we bought 2 large heaters, we bought an electric blanket, we bought a router for internet. You cannot get internet in all the house, so we needed a box, a router, so that the internet could run also in the bedrooms. And all of that cost 348 euros. Also an investment, also something we are going to use for months and months. For the gas, we only spent 46 euros, and we are still having gas from this purchase because we are not allowed to go anywhere with the car because we are in a lockdown, and the only time we are in the car is when we are going to the grocery store. Speaking of the car, we paid for the rental of the car for 1 month, 300 euros, which is, I think it's a small price comparing to what we paid in June in the season last year when we were here. If you didn't see that video, I will link it in the description. So 300 euros for a whole month, it's a small price. Also, this price includes the full insurance. So if something happens to the car, we don't pay anything. So we don't have to worry about an accident or something happened to the car. And maybe you would think that 300 euros is expensive, but if you factor in this cost, this full insurance, then it's rather cheap. We paid for the cleaning of the house. The house was cleaned once before we arrived, and we paid 55 euros, which is a lot, but this cleaning was provided by the firm which takes care of our renting, and we purchased this cleaning to them because we didn't know anyone else who takes care of cleaning here in Algarve. And we heard that maybe we can get this cleaning service cheaper, but I didn't find anyone to do this cheaper. Maybe because of the location, because it's remote, or because people think that if you are staying here in Val do Lobo, you are loaded with money, which is not our case. I don't know why, but I tried to contact several firms and the price was the same. So we thought we better go with who we know, who has already the keys to the house and takes care of the house. If you know someone who cleans the house way cheaper than that, please leave it in the comments. So this 55 euros was paid for like 2 persons, 2 hours of cleaning. Another expense was the takeout food, and this was 95 euros, and it was rather expensive because half of this sum was paid in the first day we arrived. Everything was closed, and we paid then like 47 euros, 50 euros for one meal. It was rather a large meal. We ate like 2 days from that takeout, but it was expensive. It was, if you saw the video, if not I will link it down below, it was an Indian takeout. And in the rest, we went once to the mall. We had 2 days when we didn't have the curfew, the stay in house duty, and we went to the mall, and in that day we ate there and we paid like 20 euros, which is like the average price you pay for a full meal for 2 persons. And another takeout was from Jindu, our favorite sushi here in Algarve. Jindu is a restaurant, a sushi restaurant in Quarteira, and it's very, very cheap. I mean, it has a very good sushi at very good price. So this is our takeout for this month. If it weren't for that first day, our takeout expense was rather small. We didn't travel, we didn't go at the cafes, restaurant, anything, because we are confined in our home. And because we cannot go anywhere to eat outside, this is going to be reflected in our expense for the food ordered from the supermarkets. And the food ordered from the supermarkets this month was 563 euros for 2 persons. I don't know if this is a lot or not for 2 persons for 3 weeks, but we are going to see in the coming months, in February, March, if we are going to spend the same amount of money on food, or this was an exception because we had to buy some things that we are going to use for several months, like olive oil, spices, I don't know, things that we are going to use for a lot of months. We will see. Another small expenses was at IKEA. There we paid only 10 euros. We bought some small things, plastic things for the kitchen. We paid 10 euros for Vodafone. So we are using our phone, our subscription phone at Vodafone from our country, but we also needed a Portuguese number, and this was needed for the bank, because the bank needed to have a Portuguese number where to send the PIN for the cards and everything. I don't know what they do there with their system. So because the bank asked us to have the Portuguese number, we purchased a prepaid SIM card, also from Vodafone, and we don't use it for anything. But in order to remain active, we had to put €1.50 every 2 months. So we put 10 euros for the whole year of 2021, and Vodafone just takes from there €1.50 every 2 months. Like I said, we don't use this prepaid SIM. We only receive messages from the bank or other messages in Portuguese, but we use our main subscription from our country for business. Other small expenses were clothes. We bought clothes like socks and a sweater and pajamas when we came here from Primark. Also, we bought that in that day when we went at the mall. It was the only day when we could get out. And this expense was 88 euros for the both of us. And we also paid 10 euros for makeup. If you saw my video with H&M makeup, testing H&M makeup, because it was a reduction, and I bought a bunch of items for €1, €2, and in total 10 euros. If you are interested in this subject, I will link in the description that video also. So in total, we spent for the month of January 2,360 euros. And this is without leaving the house too much, only for short walks, without going to restaurants, without taking any trips in towns. I mean, we don't have a large expense on gas. We basically only sit at home and order food from the supermarket. That was it. So when I said that in Algarve a couple to live comfortably with 3,000 euros, it was not such an incredible sum, because if we spend 2,000 euros just sitting in the house, probably we would spend 3,000 euros if we are going to visit several towns and so on and so forth. It is true that we made a large expense with this couch and with the electronics, and if we take this out, our expense of the month was only 1,300 euros, but still, I think in the months to come we are going to make also several investments, not really 1,000 euros every month, but still there are going to be a lot of items that we are going to need to purchase in order to feel comfortable in this house. What do you think about our expensive? If you take out the couch and the electronics, do you think 1,360 euros is a lot for 2 persons for 3 weeks just sitting in the house and taking short walks? I don't know, it's a lot or we did good. I don't know. Just leave it in the comments if you live here for a long time. I think the more we are going to spend here in Portugal, the better we are going to get with our expenses. We are going to learn what to buy and what not to buy, and we are going to optimize our expenses in the months to come. I hope, but it remains to be seen. So for now on, each month, at the end of the month, I'm going to make a video with our expense and see how it goes. If you like the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, because it helps me very much with my morale, but also with YouTube algorithm. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!